Okay. Yeah, it wasn't a glitch. I was trying they've changed all the gadgets and I was not able to stop sharing. So I figured I'll just click out and click back in, but it knocked everybody else out too, which doesn't usually happen. Usually when I do that, when Zoom shuts down on me, you all are still there. But it looks like everybody has to come back. So I hope they do. Only 11 of you are back so far. I was just telling Caden that there's no backgrounds anymore. There's the share button is changed. Everything is changed. So whatever they're doing. All right, so I'll wait for everybody to get back in. Is anybody else having trouble doing research? Because if y'all can't do research, then we can do something else today. You don't, oh, I didn't assign anything to anybody. What we're working on is in the module, and it should be on your to-do page also, you have a symbiosis case study, and you pick one of the three relationships. So again, I did not assign anybody. So you're going to pick commensalism or mutualism or um, parasitism. Pick one of those relationships and then answer the questions. Make sure that you include pictures. So you need to have pictures of the two organisms that you have that are in your relationship, and at least one diagram that explains the data that it talks about their effect on the society, because that's one of the questions too. How do these organisms affect the ecosystem? How are we affected by them? Are we doing something to alter their relationship, destroying their habitat, something like that? All right, well, do what you can today. Somebody said for information or pictures. Uh, uh let's see. I try. Yes, Isabella, you can. Camilla. Um, Is it any website or just the particular one you're at? Because it's quite possible you could look up the two organisms and approach it from a different angle. Let me see if everybody, no, everybody's not back. And everybody was here. All right, again, I do apologize. Like I said, they have made some changes that makes this kind of difficult to navigate. You you need at least 3 pictures, so you can put 1 on each slide if you like, but you need at least 3 pictures. I would prefer that they go with the story and not just a collection of pictures on one slide. Okay. Okay. Um, on Tuesdays and chance on Tuesdays and Thursdays, I do tutorials from 1:30 to 2. So if you want to log in during that time, we can talk about those kinds of things. Still don't have everybody back. I'm going to see if okay, I'm chat and see if you all can access that at all. If you can't access that, all right. Um, see, this is a site that gives general information, but it also gives examples. So it might be that you can start here with your discussion and then work from there. So see if you can't access that. It won't let you in the link. Okay. Gosh, today is a difficult day. All right. Uh-oh. I did that, I guess. Wow. I was trying to unblock it and it just blocked everything. Okay, today is one of those learning days. All right, it should unblock in a minute, some of them. At least bring you back to the Zoom. All right, so it is not letting you in the sciencing.com. Okay. All right. We're almost back. Everybody's almost back. All right, folks, I tried. Yeah. It should be unblocked now. But the sciencing.com I see is still blocked for you guys. All right, I was trying to unblock that and it blocked everything. So it knocked you all out of whatever site you were on. Uh, all right. Well, okay. I think I'm only, there we go. All right. So again, let me wait till this person gets in. All right. Well, it's Monday. We're having that kind of day. I see somebody's on nature.com. That seems to be working. All right. Looks like everybody's, oops, nope, I lost somebody. All right. Well, thank you all for coming, logging back in. Um, they've done some changes and I don't, everything is locked and uh, they did have a message that some of y'all couldn't get in over the weekend with your Chromebooks, but it looks like that situation is still intact. that there was an issue with the Chromebooks. So, um, like I said, do what you can with your project today, and I'll try to find out what the issue is. In a few minutes, I'll run a video on symbiosis. So do what you can, set up as much as you can. Which project is Symbiosis project? So the one that's in the module that comes right after species interactions. That's what you're supposed to be working on. That seems to be our issue this morning. We cannot do, it's a research project and you can't do any research. Yeah. Uh-oh, I keep losing folks. I'm trying to do attendance, but I need everybody to stay put. Okay. All right, let's see. Let's see. All right, so I see some of you are actually working on something because you were supposed to have started it already. So if you haven't started it, set up, at least do a format, get yourself an outline together, know exactly which topic you're going to study, and you can at least define it. If you cannot finish it today, just at least define it. Because I don't know what is going on today. It's I don't see any other comments other than there were some technical difficulties over the weekend. Have patience. There's not a minimum number of slides. Um, it just, you have to answer all the questions. So I will say it cannot be done in less than 6 slides because there are 6, basically there's 6 questions and your reference slide. but it can be longer than that depending on how you stretch it out. I do not want you to cram a lot of information on one slide, so make it as many slides as you want for each question. Like you can have one slide for each. You can have a. If I was doing, I would have one slide to introduce commensalism. I would have one slide to talk about the environment of the two organisms that you've picked. Yes, it's okay to do it in docs. It is absolutely okay to do it in docs. Um, so again, so you have a title slide, that's one, that's separate. And then as far as information is concerned, you have, like I said, the introduction, whatever your relationship is. You want to have a slide for, and then in that slide, you can introduce the two individuals that I to discuss. Do it as a paragraph, and then with your paragraphs, include your pictures. Um, explain their relationship with each other. And the next slide, slide 5, the ecosystem dynamics. And slide 6, what is this next question? I need to pull up the question. The ecological impacts, I just said that. So yeah, you need at least 6 slides with information, not counting the title slide. And then references can be the last slide. Oh, you need a summary. So you need to summarize um, your what you gained from this report, broader implications for the ecosystem functioning, future research, conservation efforts. In other words, if they are endangered, in other words, if we're doing something to destroy their habitat, then in your summary, you need to say this relationship is in danger, this relationship is safe from the environmental changes, this relationship is in danger from global warming, those kinds of things. So that would be in your summary. So again, that's 6 slides of information, then a title slide and a reference slide. But it can be as long as you like, not shorter. Yes, you're doing the symbiosis case study. I'll share it again. The problem with sharing is when I share, that's all you can see. Now I can't do that. Something is going wacky with this. All right, I changed the screen to side by side. So can you see the share assignment? We're all lost here today. Nothing is working. All right, what you're supposed to be doing. So if you go to Canvas, we started the project last week. And you are doing types of case studies. So if nothing else, you are reading the assignment, deciding, and then you can define which topic you're going to pick by using Canvas. You can, okay, what just happened? Okay, I changed the page and all of a sudden that share screen is gone. Oh, okay, there it is. Yes, that's what you choose from. So you're choosing commensalism or mutualism or parasitism. Pick one. And then that is the title of your project. So if you pick mutualism, you are to define what is mutualism. You are to get examples of organisms that have a mutualistic relationship. And then you continue your research questions on those two individuals. Yes, you can do it as a PowerPoint. Again, each question should be a slide. So not counting the title slide and the reference slide, you should have at least 6 slides. Can be more, should not be less. right. I did lose some folks. At one point, I did have almost everybody. Mm. Like I said, if you can do nothing else today but set up your project, then please just do that. Define what you want to do, set up your PowerPoint. If you can get pictures, do that. If you can't do the research, just hang in there. Okay. Like I said, they are doing some technical things. So hopefully they'll have that all worked out by next class. Um, Okay, if you that's okay, as long as you mention it somewhere. Definitely, human impact. It depends on the relationship you have, because some of you might have a human interaction as your example. The the interaction might be um, the interaction might involve a human. A human interaction as your okay. But also include, so like I said, if the human might be one of your two individuals in the relationship, but also discuss what the human might be doing to the environment for that organism. So that might be something extra other than the direct relationship between the two. I don't know if I'm explaining that correctly, but um, humans in general alter environments. So is anything that we're doing as human beings altering, enhancing that relationship, deterring that relationship, even though it's a human, whatever relationship that is, are we increasing it, making it better or worse? Is there any future in this relationship? And that goes for all of them. Is there, when we talk about environmental effects or human effects, is there any future? What is the future for this relationship? Is this a dying relationship? Will it continue? All right. So again, in case there's somebody who's totally lost, who still hasn't found what there is, it's on your to-do list. It's in the module right after specific relationships. Species interactions lesson is right after species interaction lesson in the module. Right, again, don't forget to discuss, is it a win-win? Is it a win-lose? Or is it a win and no effect relationship? time's almost up. Any questions? Any questions? Like I said, hopefully they'll get all these glitches and kinks worked out by tomorrow. I see you again on Wednesday, so hopefully we may not be able to do the gallery walk, but we'll see. I'll do it at some time. Once I know everybody was able to do the project, we'll do a gallery walk then. What we'll probably do on Wednesday is just go forward. Which means that we will look at community. Excuse me. Okay. Katie, is it up on your screen? Okay. Can I make this bigger? All right, Katie, so it looks like I'm not seeing which two organisms you are. You have three examples, but pick one of the ones that you've mentioned. Okay, hold on a minute. Because you're talking about several different things. Pick one. So your introductory paragraph, I guess this, you can call it introductory, covers several different, is a general discussion of a lot of examples. Pick one and study the relationship between that one. Okay. So Katie, you get what I mean? Yeah. And just pick, um, yeah. So if you're going to do the bee, what is the bee having a mutual relationship with? Or pick the oxpecker bird. What is it having a mutual relationship with? Pick one. Humans and bacteria, pick one. That's one. Okay. You don't have to get rid of that paragraph. Just pick one and then emphasize the rest of your discussion around that. All right. Anybody else have a question that you feel will give you clarity? All righty. So it is officially 11:25.